Welcome to Prime Business. I am Emma Davis. Let's dive into our stories. Economist Professor Lord Mensah has underscored the need for government to quickly conclude the debt restructuring program with bilateral creditors to help stabilize the cedi. His comment comes after the cedi hits 14 cedis to a dollar at the forex bureaus. Speaking to Joy Business, Professor Mensah said the market will always expect or react to expectations, hence the need to manage the process quickly to save the cedi from further depreciation.
Ghana's, monetary policy program that they've been rolling out, we don't expect it to sit in isolation because we need a fiscal to also, respond to the some of the policies. Because we can't have government, rolling out taxes, increasing taxes, which we know very well that the pass-through effect is increase in prices. While, the build-up of prices goes into inflation. And then the Bank of Ghana will come and say, oh, inflation is going up, so we're going to increase the policy rate. And we know how the policy rate fits into, interest rate structure. So the policies are supposed to go hand in hand. And I'm not expecting, that call to be a call that should come out from a vacuum, because all this while, that is what we've been calling for. I mean, the government should ensure that they respond to the policy, rate as expected. We're hoping that, having an agreement with the, external creditors will make, the board approve, the release that we need. Other than that, there's going to be a problem. Like I said earlier, the expectations, that this release will do something to the economy is so high on the market. And any, deviation from what the market expects will be a response to the exchange rate. So I won't be surprised by the end of the year, we may get the exchange rate getting around, 15 Ghana cedis per the dollar.
The Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors has objected to government's plans to make the bulk energy storage and transportation company BEST the sole off-taker of Sentuo Oil Refinery Limited's production under the Gold for Oil program. It is therefore appealing to the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to review the proposal. Here is more. According to the chamber, it is convinced that this plan is inconsistent with the deregulation policy that guides the activities of the petroleum downstream sector. It is also informed that the plan has been necessitated by government's aim to control the exchange rate by indirectly ceding Sentuo Oil Refinery's cedi liquidity through BEST for the latter to manage US dollar allocations under the Gold for Oil program. It continued that providing the needed US dollar liquidity under the Gold for Oil program can still be achieved without necessarily anchoring the entire output of Sentuo Oil Refinery Limited with BEST, formerly known as Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company, BOST. The chamber ardently opposed this proposal that would create market challenges and deficiencies, which will in the medium to long term inevitably cripple the downstream sector. This policy proposal, it said, not only contradicts government's mantra of fostering private sector involvement in the industry, but also undermines the petroleum deregulation policy efforts, which are working perfectly. Further, by sidelining bulk oil import, distribution and export companies, the government risks stifling competition and hindering the growth of a vibrant private sector within this essential industry. The chamber concluded that it is committed to working with the government to develop a workable Gold for Oil framework that fosters fair market practices and transparency. Reacting to the development energy strategist, Dr. Yusuf Suleimana stated that the entire Gold for Oil program needs to be reviewed to address concerns being raised by industry players.
And apart from these legitimate concerns, they are also arguing from purely business point of view. They are foreseeing a kind of obstruction in their ability to operate. But that said, are we going to blame the government fully for the intervention that has been made? I don't think so. From where I sit, it's early days yet. If when gold for oil came into the scene, I had supported it until I saw the details that I made a U-turn with respect to the framework upon which it was being executed or being implemented, and that brought a lot of problems. So I'm not surprised that at this moment in time, gold for oil has become powerless in its ability to do what it was set up to do, to prevent the currency weakness. To stem the tide on the currency weakness. It couldn't do that. And with its current framework, it's not able to do that. It will never be able to do that until we get a tweak. So why I don't go against the current intervention is the fact that gold for oil indeed needs a tweak. I've called for them to either put it on hold or try to make a serious kind of take on the whole policy in general, because the policy as it is now in its current form, it cannot have, is highly limited in its ability to be able to stem the tide with respect to what is happening within the downstream, especially with the wild variables that are involved.
Away from the G4O program, auditing and advisory firm KPMG is making a case for corporate bodies to intensify action on the Sustainable Development Goals as Ghana lags behind in meeting the deadline. Speaking to journalists after addressing the Sustainability Conference in Accra, partner at KPMG, Kwame Banaya, called for a more aggressive approach towards the agenda. Here's a report.
Ghana is facing a financing challenge due to what many have described as low interest in the implementation of sustainable development programs. As the deadline of 2030 for members of the United Nations draws closer, more work is expected to be done to ensure that the target is not missed. As part of this year's PROPAC Ghana conference, KPMG assembled industry players at the Sustainability Forum to promote activities of the agenda. Partner in charge of sustainability at KPMG, Kwame Sapombanie, expressed worry that despite government's efforts, the country still have a long way to go in meeting the deadline.
It's deeply worrying in a sense that the UN Sustainable Development Goals is something that we as a country must attain, and we are only about 5.5 years and a few months away. And it calls for an important action. And that's why we at KPMG are putting things like this together to ensure that the awareness is there. And then, thankfully, I think we mentioned that if you look at the national agenda, sustainability has become an inculcated part where it shows our commitment to it. But again, more must be done. Really to bring and attract those financing to support the SDGs.
Do you think we are on track? If, like you mentioned, the deadline, it's nearing. Are we on track as a country?
Not on track, but I believe with most things, as the deadline approaches, there's more action to it.
Head of Corporate and Investor Relations at Cow Bank, Jifa Amegashi, hinted that the bank is developing a strategic environmental sustainability and governance structure capable of serving as a model for the financial sector.
For Cow Bank, we have a very clearly defined ESG strategy, and our ESG strategy is around the Sustainable Development Goals. We have picked 3 in particular, that's gender, also renewable energy and energy efficiency, and also infrastructure and innovation. So our ESG, all of our ESG policies and also our products are geared towards those 3 particular SDG goals. Now, strategy evolves. As we deepen in our achievement of those goals, we may move on to other ones or add other SDG goals to the 3 that we have already. But the focus for the current strategic period is on women, it's on renewable energy, and it's also on industrial innovation.
The theme for the Sustainability Forum is defining the future, thriving with sustainable finance in Ghana.
The Ghana Enterprises Agency has formed a new partnership with the Association of Ghana Industries to support the BizBox initiative that aims to upgrade the employment skills of more than 250,000 youth across the country. The partnership forms part of the project's mandate of transferring knowledge and expertise in the industrial sector to micro, small and medium enterprises throughout the country. Chief Executive of the Ghana Enterprises Agency, Kosi Yankee Aye, was speaking at a short ceremony to present some items to AGI to signify the beginning of the agreement.
This project that we're talking about is the Business in the Box, which is a partnership between the Ghana Enterprises Agency and MasterCard Foundation with certain and various consortium partners, of which the Association of Ghana Industries is one. The role for this program is to work closely with AGI to be able to mentor and coach the various youth across the length and breadth of this nation, to provide them with the resources and also the knowledge that the industrialists have gained over the years. It's also to work with the various industrialists to see how best we can continue to create employment through the work that we have done. And so as much as possible, we cherish and appreciate this relationship and partnership that we've built with AGI. In this new partnership going forward, as always, we would expect a lot from the Association of Ghana Industries. And I know and believe strongly that they will be able to deliver and actually go above what it is that we have set for them. You know, our targets this time around is 250,000 persons, providing support for those who are in agricultural led businesses, those who are apprentices who want to become entrepreneurs, those who have MSMEs that they want to grow and strengthen. So with your support, AGI, we know that we'll be able to reach this target. And to make this a success, the Ghana Enterprises Agency has budgeted 10 million cedis as a consortium partner for this project for us to go ahead and move this forward.
Now, one of the major hurdles women entrepreneurs in Ghana face is access to financing. However, the Deputy Managing Director of Societe Generale Ghana believes that the newly established SG Women Club will significantly help close this gap by offering critical guidance and creating opportunities for women-led businesses to thrive and contribute to sustainable development. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch of the SG Women Club in Accra.
Ghana has the world's highest proportion of women entrepreneurs, with about 96.1% of them active in the labor market. However, many of these women-led businesses face significant challenges in accessing finance. The Deputy Managing Director of Societe Generale Ghana, Francois Pos, believes that the new SG Women Club, the bank's latest product, will help address this issue by providing the essential support needed to bridge the funding gap for small and medium-sized enterprises.
Societe Generale Ghana is consistently one of the banks who is lending to the real economy to micro SMEs. We have opened a few years ago our own clinic to take care of small businesses. It's called SG Home of Business. Anyone can walk in and benefit from advice. We want to take micro SMEs into the journey to formalization. We live in an environment, where inflation is high, rates are high, and access to financing is difficult. Traditionally in Ghana, most of the facilities need to be secured with a landed property, a mortgage. And obviously, most micro SMEs do not have any mortgage, to put as a collateral for the bank. So we've come up with a product that is simple.
The head of banking and supervision at the Bank of Ghana, Osei JC, emphasized the importance of adopting sustainable banking practices.
I'd like to encourage SG to leverage their sustainability efforts to attract green funds to support their lending activities. The Green Climate Fund has allocated $1.26 billion for climate action in developing countries, and I would like to encourage SG to get accredited by the GCF to take advantage of the funding opportunities it offers.
Dr. Felix Adoyobo is the Deputy Director and Advisor at the Sustainable Development Goals Advisory Unit in the Office of the President.
We need to bridge that gap where women traditionally have had limited access to financing. So we see this initiative as very timely and very important to get our women folks on board. And the impact would go beyond the financial sector. It will address issues of employment, issues of poverty.
The Societe Generale's SG Women Club initiative is supported by the African Guarantee Fund to promote an inclusive, equitable and prosperous economy.
Ghana needs to reassess some investment policies to attract small foreign investors. This is according to some Turkish manufacturing sector players. They explained that the country can leverage the global economic crisis strategically to boost the local economy. According to the founder of WCI Forum, despite Ghana's positive investment climate, more needs to be done to support local businesses. He spoke to Joy Business at the 10th edition of the WCI Forum.
These investors want further engagement from the Ghana Investment Promotion Center to explore other opportunities from other sectors of the economy.
My first aim is to create new business link with Turkish and African traders. And Ghana is a very important hub for us because your democracy culture, your investment culture, and your business culture is similar with Turkish companies. And also, I saw an opportunity here. And I invite small and medium entrepreneurs from Turkey to create new business line. If we can open a trade line between Turkish and Ghanaians, we can show that the second step of this organization, the trade and collaboration and investment.
President of the Association of Ghana Industries, Dr. Humphrey Enyimdak, has said the association will continue to promote value addition.
And Turkey to accelerate an inclusive economic growth and development, it's our goal. And for AGI, as I walk through the stands, I appreciate the various factories that are lined up in aluminium, and I can see those in the textile area. I further could see those who are providing services in plastics, and many more.
Tobinco Pharmaceutical Limited, as part of its corporate social responsibility, has donated medicines worth 255,000 Ghana cedis to the Lekma Hospital and other hospitals in Kumasi. According to head of marketing at Tobinco, Dr. Nanaya Apia Amoa, the gesture is aimed at helping patients who are unable to afford medications for their ailments. There is more in this report.
In 2022, Ghana reported 151 total deaths due to malaria cases. To help counter this disease and cure patients, Tobinco Pharmaceuticals Limited has donated some medicines to the Lekma Hospital. This also forms part of the World Malaria Day celebration. According to the head of marketing at Tobinco, Dr. Nanaya Apiamwa, the gesture is part of efforts to ensure the well-being of Ghana's human resource.
So for Tobinco, it's very important that we actually made Lekma feel the effect of arsenate before it actually even goes out in this case. For Lekma sees about 3,500 patients every week, and that's a lot of patients. And there's quite a percentage out there who are not able to afford the medications when they come here. The question is, what would you do if a patient comes, has malaria, and cannot pay, cannot afford? We already know that for the hospitals, their finances are already stretched. So what do they do? So this is where Tobinco comes in, where we've provided medicines that can actually help in treating some of these patients when they come in. They can't afford, they get it for free, and they get well. So this is what means. It means to Lekma a huge deal because of what we have brought in, the medicines that we've brought in to treat the disease that they have currently.
Head of administration at the Lekma Hospital, Charles Banafo, expressed the hospital's appreciation for the gesture, adding that this would make a positive impact on patients.
As we all know, today is World Malaria Day, and we have series of activities that we outline to mark the day. And in the course of doing our work, we got the message that Tobinco is here to give us some malaria medications. And as we all know, I mentioned earlier that we normally give some medicines to people who cannot even afford their medicines. Yeah, so those charity things we are already doing. So now that we've received these bulk medicines, it's going to add up to our stock to be able to meet out to those who come and they are diagnosed of malaria and they are not able to afford. So it's actually a breakthrough for us as an institution, and all we can say is that we are grateful to Tobinco and the entire staff.
Tobinco Pharmaceutical Limited also reiterated its commitment to providing quality and affordable medicines to Ghanaians.
CIMAF Ghana has rewarded some 50 masons as part of its Can and Win Reloaded promotion. The company says the move is to give back to its stakeholders. Commercial manager for CIMAF Cement Company, Joseph Kwabna Abu, urged Ghanaians to take advantage of the promotion.
CIMAF Ghana, manufacturers of high-quality cement, has awarded its loyal distributors and customers in its promo. The promotion was introduced by the company to award masons who have collaborated with the company to ensure its sustainability. The commercial manager for CIMAF Cement, Joseph Kwabnabu, said the company will always put customers' needs first.
Masons are very important in our operations, and they form an integral part of cement activities. Of course, they are the last people who uses our products, and they can testify or determine whether the product is good or bad. And in other cases, they even go to the extent of advising their clients. The brothers and the homeowners and other things are being advised by the masons about the type of cement they should use and other things. Of course, 2 years ago, we trained most of the masons. We trained 1,200 masons all over Ghana for them to be able to know the right application of the cement.
Some awardees expressed gratitude to the company for the gesture.
Scan and win. I was CIMAF cement. And so yes, baby, I have a copy to maybe a CIMAF na near you. Intimate say, say scan and win. There, yes, your cotton at the end we are. Your coye Jumani we are. Almost cement paper. Now I'm saying no, so I'm confirmed beton cement paper there. Me coye Juma, me the blade half be beshem. So almost share cement na my trap code. So mushia no metwa, omuhia no metwa. Omuhia sa metwa sa ko si time me nya target. Me kwa na me target nya moto. Me target a blood making machine. Na me de be nya moto. Nti ampa me kwa na me ka say scam. Anko yes scam.
CIMAF Ghana said it will continue to develop innovative cement products and services for the construction industry while maintaining excellent product performance.
Today's Entrepreneur in You comes to us in the local Chi dialect. Dr. Maxwell Ampon tells us about the price sensitivity meter, also called the Van Westendorp pricing model.
Hello, Matisse, Entrepreneur You initiative ya kwechiri adwudifo ehwe na ebi mo pese mekano twikasa anasa gaba mente guide mekano twi ntende ye bekano twi mu dachi bi meka chem about the Walmart microcredit ene ye beye nya license yet nya license we are ye beye aboa abeburu, which is the youth and nkofo omo adwudie mu a ompese omo eguru omo dwetire grow the capital basically. And I was trying to do some research. Na me research bi and you decided say, oh, any yanko crony could be so much a service way or ebetia. If you are very fast, so who could be so beside him or with you, but the lowest price at your crunch and my catcher was a mean jaffe, which you say all the champion mefa. And yes, someone pay us and just a son and a party. It is sign over to me a product and at the old tone, the actual price are old tone for every barbeto. Ohana yehu say e was use ade ye frɛ no Van Westendorp pricing model, and I said the price sensitivity meter. You will be questions 9 questions 4 will be some. First question will be say price ben as me the product and as say me the sa ade we mawa obeka say ade we osoro dodo and can osoro anka beto e osoro too much. Price ben na e wo fem so much obeka say ade we die anka beto nso mi so say the quality no enye papa, maybe price no fem too much enye papa. We no be say the price ben na e be ma very good value for money. E be mo waka say ade we die me turn good price because me share the me turn price and me any price and me tia ya my ade any fourth question I will be say price banner emang feel indifferent and sha meto and sha mentor price banner audience say emang down fin so the info price we now to graph so there's a position, there's a place do a graph na so the safety areas it was say o price say o product now service now all turn or say pricing. The Van Westendorp model, pricing model, and I said the price sensitivity meter. I who the one you pay can't just so find the way there, which me my price now a bit wow no free ni yamaba and na ye use and na me person me catch them say we use and also a bit wow. Thank you very much, and hope my cue was good enough. Thank you very much. Keep well.
Brought to you by Africa School of Entrepreneurship.
Before we go, Zen Petroleum has reiterated its commitment to support future schools across the country to help train children. The company made the pledge after it donated a bus to the future school in Chado in the Greater Accra region. The following report has more.
Zen Petroleum, as part of its corporate social responsibility, has adopted the future schools as a project it supports. The company supports future schools to help pay salaries of teachers and provide food for the students. Speaking to Joy Business after the donation of a bus to a future school in Chado in the Greater Accra region, the managing director of the company, William Teria, disclosed that Zen Petroleum has set aside 2 million cedis to cater for the development of future schools in Ghana.
Education, kids' welfare is a big part of our. It's something that we really do believe in. So in the future, we would like to think that in our small little way we can continue to contribute. Of course, the challenge is always trying to narrow it down to one particular school, because for every one school you support, there's probably 100 others who have no support and have been neglected by society. So we're hoping that in the future we can continue to contribute, and as the company grows, we'll be able to do a lot more as well.
The company is hopeful the support will go a long way to lift the families of the children get out of poverty through education. Teria talks about the future of the company's relationship with the school.
A few months ago, we got to hear about Futures School and some of the challenges we're having, particularly with the kids not being able to have anything to eat before they come to school, and it kind of touched us quite in a big way, and we felt that we had to try and do something to support. It's always difficult trying to decide exactly what CSR initiative to support, but we decided to focus on the future school in particular. They have just over 400 very young students who come from very difficult backgrounds, where even buying food is a challenge, paying school fees, etc. is always difficult. And we felt that the volunteers here were doing a wonderful job, working on subsidized, very low salaries, which working in very, very challenging environment. So we felt that we had to support. So as a company, we've committed 2 million Ghana cedis to Future School for the next 2 years.
That'll be it for tonight. I am Emma Davis. For more business news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Have a good evening. See you same time tomorrow.